Happy New Year, guys. First show of the year. Feels good. I just cracked open an Athletic Brewing. Teddy brought 2 cases of beer for my birthday, Christmas Day, for you guys that don't know. And he brought a case of regular beer and a case of non alcoholic beer because he wasn't sure if I was drinking or not, which I thought was a classy move there, Teddy. So at that night, I was not. I mean, that night I was drinking. I definitely was drinking on my birthday. But today I'm not. So these NAs are being put to good use. Cheers, Teddy. Thank you. The holidays have come and gone, y'all. I didn't really talk to you guys too much specifically about Christmas or New Year's because the 2 episodes I put out in December were that two-parter with me and Manny. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Got some good fun feedback from that episode. It was fun talking to Manny, and I'm sure that we will do that again sometime in the perhaps the near future. We had a good time. He actually, speaking of Manny and Christmas, Manny came through for my birthday on Christmas night, which was really cool. He got to meet and hang. Him and his lady came and met and hung with all my friends. It was a good time. I had a good time on my birthday. I worked on Christmas Eve for the second year in a row, but I always tend to at least the 2 years I've been at the cellar, I've gotten off on Christmas Day. So I went from celebrating both nights really to just kind of making my own thing happen on the 25th. I guess that's just the way it goes, part of growing up or whatever. I used to do Christmas Eve a lot with my family and Christmas Day or night with my friends. Unfortunately, just don't get to see my family as much anymore. So, and with my pops being the way he is, his health not in the best state still. Christmas this year was very much me and my wife thing and me and my friends thing. And, even though the family aspect of Christmas wasn't there, it was still kind of cool in a way seeing the beginnings of me kind of just creating my own thing, my own little family thing on Christmas. And I had a blast, to be honest with you, even though it wasn't the same type of Christmas I'm used to from my childhood. It was dope. It was fun. It was fun to be able to kind of host a little bit something for myself. Christmas night. I've done that for a while now, so it's always fun to hang out with my friends on Christmas night. We chill with the family, or some people chill with the family Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then we have a little bit of fun on Christmas night. This is a a Run Wild IPA. I don't normally like IPAs in a beer, but in a non-alcoholic beer, since I'm doing it a little bit more for flavor than anything else, I don't mind that little punch that the IPA flavor there gives me. I worked New Year's Eve. That was still kind of a fun night, regardless. Busiest night of the year for me for sure. But either way, it was good. It was fun. Yeah, I don't remember the last time I celebrated New Year's on my own, to be honest with you. Like not like the last time I didn't work on New Year's, I should say. I guess pandemic, and that New Year sucked anyway. So I don't even remember what I did. Um, a bunch of people have been asking me what we got each other for Christmas this year, me and my wife. Is it weird hearing that? Because it's still weird saying that. I say my girl a lot still, but it's my wife. So people have asked like, oh, what did you guys get each other? And instead of buying each other gifts, like traditionally speaking, I guess we decided to buy things for our apartment, for our little home here. Things that we've been talking about that we've always wanted, but just haven't really pulled the trigger on because it's a big purchase, or it's not just costs a lot, but perhaps takes a lot of effort. But that's what we decided to do for Christmas, our first Christmas as a married couple. I know one thing that I've been dying to do, ever since I moved into this apartment, I've never had a basement of my own, you know. So the first purchase, the first purchase I made, a large purchase, I guess. The first purchase I made once I moved into this apartment and I finally had a basement of my own, um, was a 70-inch 4K television. That was my first purchase. I think toothbrush was second. Um, and I remember like that week inviting my group of friends over. Same friends that would be there for Christmas, you know, year after year. But that first time I invited them, it was in October, and we watched. It was to watch like some scary movies, and I was like, great, I got a brand new 70-inch TV that we could watch scary movies on. Thing is, it was so new that I hadn't even gotten it mounted on the wall yet. Um, and when they came through and it was just on the floor, man, they roasted me so bad. They're like, what the fuck is this TV doing on the floor? You have a 70-inch TV just chilling on the floor, man? And I'm like, what the? Who else here has a 70-inch TV? Nobody. So shut up. All right? It, dude, I got that shit mounted like the next day. I never felt shame like that before. I didn't know you could feel shame while owning a 70-inch TV, but you can. And that's how. So I got that shit mounted. And ever since I got it mounted and it was looking all nice and dope on my wall, I knew that I wanted to light it up with LEDs from the back, but not just stop there. I wanted to like light up the entire basement with LEDs. It was at one point, um, but they all died, and it was done by the previous roommate. And for some reason, they put all the LEDs on the bottom of the floor and not the top, so it was weird. So I knew I had to fix that. But the major thing that I wanted to purchase, like that's all, that doesn't cost too much. That's not that bad. The main thing that I wanted to purchase was one of those electronic indoor fireplaces that like emit real heat. And it's always been a little bit of an undertaking, but for Christmas I finally bought us that. Um that was one of the things. The other thing actually arrives tomorrow as I record this. You might be, if you guys listen to this on the day it drops, and it's actually arriving right now. And that's I bought us a couch. I was about to say my girl. My wife's always been talking about fixing up a little corner in our on our main floor. I do have two floors. Uh yeah, that was a flex. Sorry. Um we have like a little bookshelf. It's a big bookshelf where mostly her books. I think I have like three things in there. She says only like good books are allowed on the bookshelf, and apparently none of mine are good books. Only her Sarah J. Maas books, basically, and George R. R. Martin books belong up there. She's wanted a couch for that, what she calls library. So it's a cute little corner, a nook with books. So I guess it's a library. We already have a projector installed on that. So a couch there where we could sit and watch TV on our projector while I look at her Sarah J. Maas books on the shelf. That'll be nice. It'll be nice and cozy. Uh, and then she bought a bed frame, um, like a real modern kind of bed frame that you could use to like it charges phones and laptops. It's pretty cool. So it even has lights like neon, or not neon, but LED lights as well. So that was dope, and it's good because our old bed frame was falling apart. So in the span of a week or two for Christmas, we upgraded with a little indoor fireplace, a bed frame, yeah, brand new bed frame, a couch, pretty cool, not bad. The thing though, uh, it's that's all nice, but what we kind of forget about is how much self assembly there is to these things. Uh, because everything nowadays is self-assembly. I feel like that should started with IKEA. IKEA kind of started all this. They they were like one of the first big chain stores or whatever. What are they, Swedish? That sold furniture or like home furnishing at pretty affordable prices. The only catch is you basically had to assemble the entire damn thing yourself at home. Like it was cheap, but you did all the work. Like you used to be able to get actual things like delivered to you. Like built. You used to get things that were already built, delivered right to your door, your apartment, whatever. Like you'd be able to go to a store and you'd be like, I want this desk, sir. And they'd be like, no problem, sir. We'll deliver it right to you. And then a couple days later, two big strong guys drive a truck with a desk from the store to your apartment, to your house, and they get off and they deliver it with an entire fully made desk just comes off the truck and into your new home. Now it's like you gotta go to Amazon and you find a desk that looks great on like an AI rendered picture of what the desk would look like assembled in front of some green screen background that is changed up. And a couple of days later, you open your door and you see that they delivered a bag of seeds with instructions and a side bag of like screws. Because first you have to plant seeds and grow some trees to harvest the wood that you're going to use to build the damn desk yourself. And the axe to cut down the trees to harvest the wood is not included. So you got to go back to Amazon and you got to buy an axe just so you could cut down these trees and give yourself the wood that you need to build this damn desk. But don't worry, they gave you screws and instructions on how to do it. Everything we bought for this house for Christmas, everything was fucking assemble it yourself. Everything I had to assemble myself. And I don't mean like just put like the size. I mean, if there was a handle, I had to. I'm surprised I didn't have to weld the handles together before. Forge the metal myself. I'm surprised that I didn't have to forge the metal of the screws. They should have just given me seeds and a block of iron and been like, grow the trees and forge this metal into screws. And then follow this booklet, this instruction manual on how to put this together. That's essentially what it is. The the fireplace, it was just, I swear to God, like 100 pounds of just different sizes of wood. And then a bag, like a large bag, just sectioned off into like 8 types of screws. And thank God that I have 2 types of little bullshit drills at home that I could use on those screws, and that helped me put together the fireplace. But it took, that shit was 70 inches like wide. It was big, and it had LED lights. It was a fireplace, so there was a lot of like wires I had to connect. And it was, I feel like I felt my hernia pop a little bit when I had to slide it down the stairs, just to, from the main floor to the basement. I know, first world problems. It took me a couple of hours to do it, but I got it done. Actually, Val had an errand that kept her out of the house all day, She actually went to DC for a day. She went like in the morning and came back in the afternoon. And by the time she got home, I had just finished putting together the fireplace, and it was one of the few times that like I put something together that left her like in awe. She was like, "Holy shit, this is really make our basement's really nice now." And then I put the lights on. I think like later that week, and it really now our basement is like our favorite room now. PS her playing PS5 and with an electronic fireplace and LED lights all over the place. You could change the light of the fire from like green to purple to blue to orange to red. It's awesome. Uh, but Jesus Christ, putting that together was a son of a bitch. Uh, yeah, especially because like it's one thing putting like pieces of wood together, but wires and shit. What am I, an electrician? I'm like a the thing is that was kind of okay, mostly because like I said the I have two types of drills, so it really helped with the screwing in of everything, and there's a lot of screws. But then here's the kicker. The A couple of days later, the bed frame came, and we threw out the old bed frame and we started putting this new one together. And the bed frame used special screws that did not conform to anything else. Like it wasn't a flathead type of like a flathead screwdriver wouldn't work. The Phillips head wouldn't work. Those are all the screws I know. But whatever. Like none of them worked except like I tried my drills, nothing. None of the bits would fit. No. Only the specific sized little tiny Allen wrench. The little, you know what? I'm gonna grab this shit right now. So much. Anyways, so for the viewers over there, this little freaking little Allen wrench, it's a tiny metal L. This is the only tool that worked on this freaking bed frame. So not only do they send us same thing, same deal. I grew trees in my forest, cut it down, and then I had all these different sizes and shapes of wood. That's all it was. It was a box of different shapes of wood, different sizes of wood. So what you order a bed frame, you order a desk, you order a fireplace, you order a cabinet from Amazon. It's all just different sizes of wood in a box with a bag of screws. That's it. And they all have different books that tell you what to do. Some more clear than others, but that's what buying furniture is now. It's just different sizes of wood delivered to your house. And so this is between Christmas and I think it's after New Year's, but see, my wife's birthday is January 6th. It's Russian Christmas Eve, actually, if I'm not mistaken. So we think it's kind of cool that my birthday is on, American Christmas Eve, or Christmas, I should say. I just got my birthday wrong. My birthday's on Christmas, real Christmas. Her fake Christmas is the 7th. She's born on the 6th. She's listening right now, mad. Like I could just see it right now. She just got to this part of the podcast that she listens to. She just listens to it to not hear me bitch. And now she got to this part and she was like, "Fake Christmas?" And she's like, she was texting me right now, except now that I predicted that she was texting me at this point, she's probably deleting her text because she doesn't want to seem that predictable to me. But that's literally what just happened right now. For all of you, for everyone else that's not my wife listening to this podcast right now, you know exactly what my wife just did while listening to this podcast. That's what she does. She got mad because I called it fake Christmas. I just she gets mad at stuff like that. Like when I call her culture and stuff fake now because she's in America. I don't know why. That pisses her off. But Go figure. It's a thing. Uh, so yeah, because it was like between real Christmas and fake Christmas, she was basically doing that thing where it's her birthday week, her birthday month, her birthday year, whatever. So I was like, all right, since this bed frame uh, that you bought arrived between the birthdays and your Christmases or whatever, I'll put it together, you know, on my on this day off, you know. And she kind of just said like she was happy, but like at first she was kind of just watching me, cause like I said, there's just one of these things that freaking work on the screws. You know what else she's gonna do? Freaking water the trees to cultivate the wood. I mean, we organized wood together, and then I started screwing this with this stupid tool, and finally there was like parts where the two of us could work together, but I swear to God, we've been together like 4 years now, maybe going on 5. Again, she's probably pissed off again now that I just didn't know exactly how many years, but we've been together for a while. I don't think we've ever had a worse time together than we did putting that bed frame together. Like assembling that bed frame might have given us the worst experience as a couple that we've ever had. We've never had less, like we've never enjoyed our time together less ever. And she took an ambulance ride with me to the hospital after I fell in the bathroom and hurt my ribs. We had a better time during that entire process, that entire ordeal, than we did sitting in our bedroom putting together a bed frame. I'll fall on 6 ribs and take 6 ambulance rides before I have to put together another damn bed frame. And of course, like we didn't get a regular bed frame. I said it was like nice, fancy bed frame that comes with all these outlets and USB ports and LED lights. So not only were we there freaking screwing things with this metal L, this little tiny thing, cramping up, angry, not talking to each other. We're also wiring a bunch of wires around the bed. Again, we're not electricians. Who's ever had to wire a bed? We did. Silently, angrily. Like 2 clueless electricians that you freaking hired off of Craigslist. Cheers. This one's a Belgian style white. Thank you so much. We just stopped talking to each other while putting together this bed frame in misery. Silent misery. At first, when it was just me, because it was her birthday week, month, year, I let her put on whatever she wanted on TV while I put together this bed frame, and she chose Twilight. And of all the movies she could have chose, I don't think I've ever been more angry in my life putting together that bed frame and listening to Twilight in the background. You want to know what's the most demotivating thing you can hear while putting together a bed frame by hand with a freaking Allen wrench? Is dialogue between Edward and Bella. It's the last thing I want to hear. Like my hands aren't already suffering. You want my ears and eyes to suffer too. That bed frame, dude. Like I said, it was for my wife's birthday week, month, year. Her birthday, Russian Christmas Eve, which is January 6th. And when we were at court to get our marriage license, I remember thinking like, oh, this is gonna be our first Christmas, and our first birthdays as a married couple. And I just looked over to her, and at the court, I was like, "Oh, now that you're gonna be married, now that we're gonna be married, now that you're gonna be my wife, how are you gonna celebrate January 6th?" And the couple next to us kind of like, was like, "What the hell?" Me being the awesome boyfriend that I am, I bought my wife um a bunch of pastries and treats for her birthday. And one of those treats that I bought, one of those goodies, was in honor of her celebrating January 6th. So for those that are only listening, I am holding up a Donald Trump cookie. Uh, I don't worry, I bought two of them. I found while looking for like a birthday cake or some type of nice little donut, I found a bakery that sells Donald Trump cookies, and I literally bought these cookies and had them delivered to my apartment on January 6th. So don't worry, I bought my wife some like non um Trump donuts, and I bought her a cake as well. But from this bakery, I had to do it. I had to buy the Trump cookie. I mean, it's the American thing to do. I had those ordered and sent to her while I was at work, but for her actual birthday cake, I wanted to get her a cake from this local bakery called Rudy's. Rudy's Bakery is it's been there for I think like 50 years, maybe 40 years. It's like one of those family owned or like small business type of bakeries. Um, Technically it's in Queens, although I live in Bushwick. I live on the border, so it's about a less than a 10-minute walk away from me. And the thing is, on the 6th, on I think it was a Monday, they were gonna close at 4, and I had to go to work that morning. I worked a morning shift that day, so I actually went to Rudy's before work at around maybe 10 in the morning because I didn't have to get in until 11. So I went in early just to buy a cake and some more goodies. Like I think I bought some cinnamon buns, some I forget what else, some good stuff. Rudy has a lot of good stuff. But I bought an entire chocolate cake at Rudy's, and that it I was gonna carry it around all day at work. It wasn't gonna be a big deal. But I remember when I was going to pay, someone came in, and I didn't really pay him any mind really, but he had like dropped he went to like the there's like a little chair, not like a chair, like a love seat or whatever, where he went to put his stuff down, and he dropped some stuff, and I picked it up from him and gave it to him, and I went to go pay, and as I'm like waiting for my receipt or whatever, uh that guy comes up, and you know, he starts like a little spiel to the there's two people working. There was one that like looks like she was either like the owner or the manager or something like that, and then there's just a regular employee, there, a younger employee, and he starts to spiel to the older like manager, and before he can even finish his first sentence, she cuts him off, and she's like, "You want something to eat?" Like, not really like nicely or warm, but just cut to the chase. Like, "You want something to eat? I got you." And then she kind of turns to her employee and goes, like, make him a cup of coffee too." And then she turns and starts getting to work on, like, I don't know. I think it was like a breakfast sandwich or something. I don't know. Not exactly sure. And I was just like, wow, like I didn't realize he was, I guess, unhoused is the correct way to say it nowadays, because apparently there's a rise of unhoused people protesting against the word homeless. But so this unhoused gentleman was like standing right next to me, and then he didn't even have to, ask fully. Out of the kindness of her heart, she was like, "Yeah, of course, like I'll give you something." And I remember just like looking over at this guy and thinking to myself, "Wow, I can't believe I touched his stuff." Oh God. And like I just paid, like I paid for my shit, and I left, and damn, dude, like the unhoused problem in this place, it's just getting crazy. There are good people in this world, guys. I just might not be one of them. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Is what I'm trying to tell you is that you only order pieces of wood on the internet now, and that the world's full of good people. I'm just not one of them. All right. Like, you want to know why I don't like I had some thoughts yesterday and today that I wonder about my how can I say this, whether or not my heart is in the right place, or my intentions pure, um see, a couple of years ago for Christmas, I like to think of myself as a good Christmas gift giver, this year with the fireplace and the couch, I've turned normal lackluster places to some of the, as my wife has said, the basement's now her favorite place in the entire, apartment. So that was a nice gift, Um, one year, perhaps the most expensive gift I ever gave her. If we, a famous person once said, a wise person once said that presents are a good way to like measure how much you love somebody. It's like, hey, I love you this many dollars worth, and that I think that that's wise. So it was one of our first Christmases together, but um, I was exchanging gifts with, at the time, my girlfriend, and I remember saving like the best for last, and she was like, "Oh, you bought me something else," and she opens it up, and it's a freaking MacBook Air. All right, I bought her an Apple. I bought her a laptop from Apple. MacBook, and she was kind of taken. She was not expecting that at all, for sure. I think, if I remember correctly, I think I got a Russian tear out of that one. I think I got a tear. She was like ecstatic, and she's put that MacBook to use. She's used it to work on her other side gigs that have definitely given us a lot of income and free stuff. And she had a lot of stuff planned to kind of hit the ground running this year, this new year. And yesterday, our older cat, Addie, named after Adriana Lacerva from The Sopranos, Addie jumped up and knocked over the MacBook Air, cracking the screen. Like, we were both in the room and we just watched it happen, and it was devastating. And yeah, I remembered at that time, where I checked immediately to see if I had Apple Care for it, because I was the one that bought it, and of course, no, I never got any Apple Care on that thing. So there's no insurance, and my wife just saw like her livelihood, her productivity just completely destroyed. And me, all I saw was just money just flying out of me. My pockets, my wallet, my bank account, any change I have in the mattress, just all money. That's all I saw. The moment that As that MacBook Air was falling, it might as well have been a representation of like my stock portfolio just crashing or something. Not that I have stock or anything like that, but just a representation of my bank account just going meow. And when it hit the ground, my bank account just went. Because I mean, look, here's the thing. I said I worked Christmas Eve. I worked New Year's Eve. You know, those are I did pretty good money wise, or at least tip wise. I did all right. I worked hard over the holidays, but it paid off in those paychecks. You know, and I was here thinking to myself, oh man, you know, like I wonder what'll be like my first purchase of the new year. Like, will it be some new audio equipment for to take the not just this podcasting but other podcasts to a little bit of a different level, so I could do a little bit more. Perhaps I continue buying stuff to improve the house. We've been wanting a new TV for our bedroom for a while. Um, Stupid, silly me was even like, what's going to be my first toy purchase of the year? You know, like, should I get myself a vintage classic toy or should I buy myself something new? And as I saw that MacBook Air just drop, it felt like it was floating, and as it floated, all of that stuff that I thought about buying was just flying out the window along with my money, and then crash on the floor. Broken laptop. Because I knew right away that I was going to either pay for the repair of the laptop or pay for the replacement of the laptop. Either way, you know, I I remember there's an episode of Seinfeld where George Costanza is dating somebody that he uh, is suspicious of having an eating disorder. Like he believes that she's going to the bathroom and throwing up the meals after after they eat. And Elaine says something like, "And you're concerned about this?" And George is like, "Of course I am. I'm paying for those meals, you know." So as you know, my wife sees the MacBook fall and she envisions her productivity and her income just crash, her ability to earn just kind of crash. Me, I'm seeing it literally crash and just thinking to myself, I'm the one that's paying for that. God damn it. Does that make me a bad person? Am I a bad person that I think that, or am I a good person that I A, bought the laptop in the first place, and B, am already volunteering myself to be the one to financially uh, support the repair or replacement of the laptop? Does the goodness outweigh the bad? Am I just like a dick? Like, do I just think dickish things while doing nice things? Is that possible? I don't like. This is that is my dichotomy. Is what I'm seeing. I am. Am I Does that? Is that what is that? What's that Reddit thing? Am I the asshole? Does that make me bad? Does this make me bad? Am I bad? Does this make me a bad person? Or am I a good person for doing it? And should I just shut up about it? Like, whatever, dude. Fucking, and my cat, ugh. You know how annoying it is when your cat does something bad and then they still look all fucking cute and stupid and shit? By the way, the reason that my cat even knocked over the MacBook in the first place is because the MacBook was on top of the cat tree. It wasn't on a desk that I put together from different sizes of wood. It wasn't on the bed frame that we put together from different sizes of wood. It wasn't on a cabinet that, you guessed it, we put together from different sizes. It wasn't on any of these things because she had recently like rearranged stuff in our bedroom, and one of those things that she rearranged was moving an entire like cabinet or drawers she moved drawers out of there into the studio and moved a cat tree in its place. And um it took away a little some surface area for me. Like I used to put um like my phone there or stuff like that. But now that we got the bed frame, I put my stuff like on the bed rest or the bed frame and not the I guess I don't need that much surface area. I still need it sometimes, but I find myself using the cat tree to like put like my water or something like that every now and then. Well, she was changing the bed sheets and she needed somewhere to put the MacBook while watching TV, and she put it on the cat tree. And then I get home from work and we're talking about my job. We're talking about how Rihanna and ASAP Rocky dropped by for a show, which was pretty cool. And suddenly our cat jumps up into what she thinks is her cat tree. But there's the MacBook chilling on it, and that's what happens. Now, now that I've explained that, did I ever mention anything about the MacBook being on the cat tree to my wife? Absolutely not. I never brought it up. Is it a good question? Like why is the MacBook on the cat tree? Is that a good question? Doesn't matter. You know what? It doesn't as a married man, I can tell you, doesn't matter if the point is mute. It's a mute. Is it mute or moot? I think it's a moot, right? MOOT. It's a moo point. The point is moo. It's like a cow's opinion. It's just moo. So, hey, should the MacBook Air have been there in the first place? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Was the MacBook Air in the... It doesn't matter where the MacBook Air was. Should the MacBook Air have been in the... It doesn't matter where the MacBook Air should have been. And if I care about the possibility of salvaging the rest of that Saturday and making it a good Saturday night at least, if I cared at all about having a good weekend, it was imperative to all that is good in the world for me to not ask why that MacBook was in the cat tree. It doesn't matter why that MacBook was in the cat tree. All that matters now is that it's broken and that I'm going to be the one that pays for it. You know why? Because I actually do think I might be a good guy. Except I now just finished my podcast episode by saying all this. So maybe I'm back to bad. I don't know. Jesus. Well, I guess there's no better place than there to end it, right? Right? Before I actually do wrap it up with the little outro there, I'm going to ask you guys, before I ask you for the favor that you guys are all used to me asking you, I have another favor to ask you guys of. See, I actually do things outside of this podcast and outside of work. I've actually been producing, or co-producing, I should say, a completely different podcast, one unrelated to me. That podcast is called Hill to Die On, and it's brought to you by myself and Jacqueline Laura Edwards. We are co-producing a podcast that involves two hosts, Grace Lobo and Greg Melly, two comedians here in the New York area that used to get into arguments all the time over the most mundane shit and decided, hey, we should do this with some mics and a camera. And that's what we're doing. And every week we're going to come at you with another dumb argument that the two of them decide to take on. And you'll see all these stupid things that they get themselves into as they choose a hill to die on, available on all platforms now: Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, all those good things. Do me a favor, follow them if you can. If you like it, subscribe to their pages. You can follow them on Instagram, Hill to Die On Pod. You can search Hill to Die On. You could type in Greg Melly and Grace Lobo, and they'll pop up on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. You can also check out the link in my bio, since you're already following me, right? And if you're not, this is how you do it. It's very easy. It's just 3 words at I'm Will Bryant, Bryant. You can follow me on all those platforms: Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok for I guess another week or so, Twitter or X, whatever it's called. Do me a favor, follow me, rate, review, subscribe. Do it for, now I can say this for real, all my podcasts. I'm Will Bryant and Hill to Die On. Episode 1 just dropped last week, the 8th. It's going to drop every Wednesday. We've already got like 3 months worth of episodes in the bag, and we're going to come at you with a lot more. It was fun to do. It was fun to record, and that's all I got to say about that. Excuse me as I put together my portfolio to buy another MacBook Air. In the meantime, do me a favor, take care of yourselves.